Sorry about the glare, but I cannot see without glasses, so we're just gonna do it this way. Hey guys, it's me, Jessie, and this is JessPeachee, where we try to make some art, do a couple of vlogs, and talk about books. So today we're going to talk about Again But Better by Riccio. Christine is a booktuber here on YouTube. She goes by Pullin' Bananas Books, and she is also an author. She wrote this. This is her solo published novel. It was published this year in May, around the same time I was graduating university. It took me a while to hunker down and get this read. I started out renting the audiobook from the library. That didn't work out. I wasn't paying attention enough and I wasn't comprehending what was going on. Then I tried checking out the ebook from my library as well. That didn't work out by itself. So then I tried reading the ebook while listening to the audiobook. Still wasn't working out. Still wasn't connecting with me. But about a week and a half ago, I checked out the physical copy of Again But Better from my library, and it seemed to work very well for me. I'm really glad that I could read this in a physical format, and also I'm glad I didn't have to rely on a narrator's voice because I got to imagine the character voices inside my head instead of having to imagine it from a narrator. So Again But Better is about Shane, who is a pre-med student at NYU at the behest of her parents. It's not really her passion. Her passion is writing. She wants to be a novelist as well as a journalist, I believe. And so she takes a semester off from pre-med and decides to go study abroad in England, where she will be studying creative writing, and she also interns at a travel magazine. And during the study abroad, she uses this opportunity to kind of redo school, hence the title, Again But Better, because she tells herself that she wants to be more extroverted, make more friends, kiss the boy she likes, etc., etc. And she wants to prove to herself that she can walk out of this internship and study abroad trip with a job in writing, as opposed to continuing her education in pre-med. I enjoyed it a lot. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I related to Shane a lot because we're both introverts and shy and don't make friends that easily. Kind of struggle in social situations. She's all about Harry Potter, which I can also get behind. She's into Lost, which I've never gotten into. Lost is not one of my fandoms, but hello, 3 posters in the back of Merlin, and then there's Supergirl right here where you can't see. But yeah, I can totally relate to being one for fandoms. Hurrah! Shane is also a writer, hence the journalism and creative writing studies and the internship with the travel magazine. I can't write for shit, and I can't art very well either. But yes, I really liked Shane. While reading this, I got the impression that Shane was scared and kind of in between a rock and a hard place when it comes to where she was trying to decide whether she takes the risky route and goes for her passions and her love of writing, or she stays in the safe, stable, and reliable career path of pre-med and becoming a doctor like her parents want. And that makes me feel for her. There's a part where, spoiler alert, where her parents actually come and visit her in England, and during dinner with her parents and her roommates and the people across the hall, her parents unfortunately find out that she did kind of lie to them and trick them into thinking that she was in a pre-med program where there's no pre-med program offered in London. And what her father said, her father called her a little shit, and that is not okay. But I have a clip of me reacting to that while I was still reading this, and I'm going to insert that now. Hey guys from the past. It's currently, as I film this, October 11th. After midnight, it's October 12th, and I am reading before going to bed, and Again But Better really hit me, struck a chord with me, because I've just gone and read the part where Shane has dinner with her folks because her folks surprised her by coming to England. And I think I have mixed feelings, whereas I feel so sorry for Shane, but I also feel so grateful for my situation, because Shane's dad and her mom, they are pressuring her into going to med school, and they thought she was pre-med, and they got really upset with her when she told them that she lied about it. And like, her father called her a little shit, which is not okay. I said so on Goodreads. It's not okay for a father to call his daughter a little shit, or at least not without any humor or jest. But to scream it out in the restaurant, that's just insane. But like, they don't believe in her. They think her being a writer or working for a travel magazine or any magazine or writing a novel is pointless, is not going to be successful at all. They don't believe in her. And it made me feel so grateful, because my parents, even when I am not sure of myself, even though I'm not sure of myself, even when I don't believe in myself, my parents have always believed in me. I'm so grateful. So yeah. Thank you, Christine Riccio. Very emotional ride, this book, but I love it. It's just what I need to be reading right now, because I've been in a bit of a reading slump. And so I picked up Again But Better from my library. It's really good, so I'm very grateful for this book. I'm grateful for my parents, and I hope Shane gets the second chance that she deserves, and still hoping that Pilot and her work things out as well. Anyways, go onward to the future and the rest of this book review. So yeah, those were my feelings about that scene. Speaking of Shane, one of the criticisms this book got was that you couldn't tell the author from the character, and I can see how that is present. Like, Shane's blog username is French Watermelon, and that's the story behind that username is very similar to the story behind Christine's YouTube account, Poland Bananas. I mean, write what you know is all I'm gonna say. Like, I wasn't concerned. I didn't get bothered by it. It still was an enjoyable read despite that. Speaking of Shane, so while I was reading this, of course, yes, I did see the similarities to Christine, so I automatically kind of envisioned Shane as Christine. I also kind of envisioned Shane as myself, so yeah, that. As far as other characters, there was a part where they traveled to Paris, and there was mention of another character named Pilot who has green eyes, and at that point it solidified in my brain that Pilot looks like Adrian Agreste from Miraculous Ladybug. Sometimes Pilot's appearance would shift in my brain. Sometimes it was a kind of a combination of Adrian Agreste, Tom Holland, and Colin Morgan. When am I not imagining Colin Morgan as these characters that I crush on? But whatever. Merlin in the background. Shane's dad, I kind of saw as my dad, just for reasons, but I also saw Shane's dad as Chris Hemsworth, because there was a quote that of Shane talking about how her mom said that her dad is lovely and caring and Bruce Banner up until he hulks out. And so in my mind I was like, okay, he has to look like one of the Avengers. I don't know why I didn't choose Mark Ruffalo, but in my head he looked like Chris Evans. Maybe with a handlebar mustache, maybe Marinette's dad from Miraculous Ladybug. I don't know. The only other character I really envisioned in my head really well was the redheaded lady. We don't get her name, but she is ever present throughout the book. She's present on the plane to London. She's at cafes, on streets. I always pictured her kind of as a combination of Felicia Day and Elizabeth Banks, but that's because she was a slim 40-year-old woman with a pile of red hair on the top of her head. And Felicia Day, red hair, Elizabeth Banks, I was thinking Effie Trinket, honestly. But her personality, her like upbeat, like, again, but better. And another critique that people gave this book was that there was a lot of girl on girl hate. I didn't see that when I was reading, but I've never been a really analytical reader to begin with. If I don't like a book, I usually put it down, and if I like a book, I continue it. It's just how that goes. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a writer, but I should get better at that. Hopefully I do. Okay, so not so much girl on girl hate, but there was a fiasco at the bar with Shane and her roommate Babe, as well as this guy that Babe liked named Chad. But I think that was basically, Chad was a drunk doofus and started hitting on Shane and tried to make a move on her and then trying to kiss her. And then Babe later goes to Shane and says, "You already have Pilot. Why do you have to have Chad too?" And reading that, I was like, how in the heck does she have Pilot? Pilot has a girlfriend. Let alone, how does Shane have Chad? Because Shane's not interested in Chad at all. So my personal issue, which is a non-issue, is some of the names are weird. I mean, Shane I can get behind because Ryan and Jordan kind of androgynous names. Shane I can get behind being a girl's name. That wasn't a problem. Pilot, I don't know what parents are naming their child Pilot, but that, okay, whatever. I did like the nickname that Shane gave Pilot because Pies, that was cute instead of Pie, because, you know, Pi 3.14 is cold and scientific, whereas Pies is warm and comforting, comfort food. Yummy apple or pumpkin pie. So yeah. In conclusion, I really enjoyed this book. Like I said, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, there were a couple of times Horcrux was misspelled, but well, I mean, no editor is perfect, so. I need to get myself a copy. In fact, I know I just ordered a copy and that should arrive soon. So hopefully one day I will give it a reread and annotate because I have thoughts. And it's easier for me to remember my thoughts if I write them down as I'm reading. Unfortunately, I didn't think of that until after I was already done with this book before writing notes down. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I believe I signed off in a past video when I was still reading this, so I'm going to insert that now. It's 1:15 in the morning. I have work at 8, and I have one thing to say. Damn you, Christine! I want my own copy now. I really love this. I really love the ending. I really loved the part where Shane's parents were at her book signing for her end of her duology. Thank you for writing this. This is exactly what I needed to read at this moment, and that's the best because reasons. Thank you. Okay, everyone. I hope you have a lovely morning, a lovely evening, or a lovely afternoon whenever you are watching this, wherever you are watching this from. Bye.